Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise and honors and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Hadash. Double honors to the apostles who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the one-third men, women, and children in that order. This is Shemaiah Allah with the Great Millstone chapter out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And there's a couple things that I want to touch on. One dealing with a teen who slaughtered his four family members in Utah, and the second thing that I wanted to touch on is the woman who murdered her three children. And again, both of these individuals come from the nation of Edom, which is the so-called white man who was Esau Edom, according to the Bible. And the first scripture I want to pull is Psalms 58, verse 3. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." You know, these people, these Edomites are are wicked. Come out the womb, like the spirit that is upon that flesh is of their father. You know, Esau, Edom, of the wicked one. You know, goes back to Cain, and goes back to Esau, Edom. You know, who was always referred to in the Bible as the wicked. And I'm gonna read the first story dealing with the teen, and it reads. It says, A twisted teen is accused of slaughtering four family members during a shooting spree inside a Utah home. Reports say neighbors called cops to the Esmore Drive home in Grantsville around 7 p.m. Friday after hearing gunshots. Authorities discovered 5 people with bullet wounds and arrested the suspect teen killer. Officials said one of the victims was taken to the hospital alive. None have been identified. Grantsville Mayor Brent Marshall said the killer's motive is unknown for now. I'm sure it would take days or even longer to try and piece together what brought all this one and why it happened, if we ever get to know why it happened. Marshall said, "It's upsetting. This is normally a very quiet neighborhood, and anytime you have children involved in something, it becomes very emotional very fast." So I'm going to start right there and just say that, that lets you know the people are not aware of, the battle that we are under dealing with demonic possession, demonic manifestation. And, the wicked, they're starting to rev up, and you're starting to see these things happen more and more, especially dealing with the Edomite nation. Like you said, they don't understand why. But we do, that, and what happened was complete judgment, for whatever, they did in past life or in this life as well, and understand this, Esau has, as they say, hell to pay, referring to the atrocities they've committed against Jake. As the scriptures do say, it says, 2 Timothy 3, verse 13, it says, "But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived." In this time, you starting to see, the curses starting to shift onto Esau, Edom, and you're starting to see more things manifest in their households, such as this. And then this is another article that just came out. It's a little bit extensive. I'm going to read through it and then kind of touch on a couple more things and then bring out another scripture at the end. But this is another demonic possession of another Edomite woman who ended up killing 3 of her Salakia. It says police, mom accused of killing her 3 kids said she smothered them while singing. This is in Phoenix, Arizona. It says the 22-year-old mother accused of look at this woman, Salaki. Look at this woman. Just a demon. The spirit that's on that flesh is one of the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, and it manifested. Let me go on and read through this scripture. Salakia, through this article. It says the 22-year-old mother accused of killing her 3 children in Phoenix sang to her children as she smothered them to death, according to court records. It says Rachel Henry was arrested on suspicion of first-degree murder Monday after she admitted to killing her 3 children under the age of 4, police says. The Maricopa County medical examiner identified the children as 3-year-old Zane Ezra Henry, 1-year-old Maria Henry, and 6-month-old Catalaya Kiana Rios. Police initially said the daughters were 2 years old and 7 months old, and the medical examiner's office said the girls were age 1 and 6 months. It's not clear if they were all Henry's biological children. Court records recounted how Henry allegedly smothered the 3 children one by one before lining up their bodies. However, the records don't provide a possible motive for the brutal killing. One family member told police they last saw the children alive at the Phoenix home Monday, according to the police report. Henry, who police said lived with the children's 30-year-old father and a 49-year-old woman identified as an aunt, told them she would put the children down for a nap while they were gone, smothering the kids one by one. Henry allegedly told police she smothered her 1-year-old daughter. First, she wrestled with the child before placing her hand over the child's mouth while she continued to kick in protest. Henry's 3-year-old son yelled at his mother to stop and tried to punch her in the face. Henry continued to smother the baby until she stopped breathing, according to the report. She left the body in the back bedroom. Rachel knew she killed the 1-year-old female when she stopped kicking, a Phoenix police investigator wrote. Henry then chased her 3-year-old son, but told police she was stopped when her aunt and the father of the children returned home. One of the family members played with one of the 2 children for a bit before Henry took the older boy into a back bedroom to change his underpants. She placed her son on the floor, straddled him with her legs, and proceeded to smother him using her weight and by covering his mouth and nose with her hands until he died. Rachel described singing to the 3-year-old as he scratched her chest and pinched her. The report detailed brutal killing. Salakia. It says the probable cause statement says Henry next fed the 6-month-old female a bottle in her bedroom until she fell asleep. She sang her a song while again smothering the child with her hand as the child's father and the identified woman were in the next room. I'm gonna stop it right there, man. We are familiar with these horror movies that they bring out, that Esau bring out, but this sounds like some shit from a horror movie, man. These people are wicked. These people are wicked, and I'm gonna bring this. Is Hebrews 12 verse 16 says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." So it doesn't get no more wicked than Esau, Edom, man, and the Edomite nation. We got 2/3 of our people who are just lost in the sauce. But these damn devils, man, and they're revving up, and that's how you know these end times are here, and what's about to really take place, man. And all of these things are starting to happen. But Lord willing, you were edified with this brief lesson. Just wanted to bring out those 2 articles that just actually happened this past week. And with that being said, I want to say shalom to you brothers and some of you sisters who are listening and watching. Shalom, Yahba Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Krakadas, Barakatham.